Leagues.
Welcome, friends, fans, and family of NCAA Women's Volleyball. It is great to kick off this season with you. I am your host, Jennifer Donnelly, joined by my amazing friend, Lori Willitson here as we get ready to talk volleyball. What an amazing matchup here for Northern Colorado against Stanford.
I know. If you're a Bears fan, you circled this on the schedule and went, Stanford's coming to Colorado. It's just a great opportunity.
So why did Stanford come to Colorado, Coach? Let us know. Why is that happening? Why are we getting this?
Colorado's beautiful in August. And then also, you're talking about you're going to get good competition. Northern Colorado is always at the top of the Big Sky Conference. Then they're also going to be playing Colorado State, which is another great school that they can team up, and then they play Stanford and Colorado State tomorrow. So, and Colorado State's always fighting for the top of the Mountain West. So these are good programs. They have winning records, going to help with that ranking.
Well, and I also think too, to me, I think Stanford has a lot to prove, wants to prove a lot this season. Right. They were top of their bracket in the NCAA tournament, lost to San Diego. UNC lost to San Diego, did take a set from them last season. Yeah. So yes, I think this is great competition as both of these teams either start to iron out what that starting lineup's going to look like and get people playing and going. So why does UNC want to play this top tier team rated number 3 in the country? Why do they want to play this?
Because UNC, the last couple years when they've gone to the bracket, they're faced up, and because of the seeding committee, they take those top 64 schools and they go ahead and seed you up against that first round. Northern Colorado, a lot of the Big Sky opponents face tough opponents. Wisconsin, they faced Oregon, they faced Washington, and so you got to be able to have this experience playing against the top 10 teams in the state to be able to have that chance to get out of the bracket and win your first bracket game. You got to get to the, want to be a conference winner, get to that bracket and have a chance to be a Cinderella team.
That is a goal for Coach Oates and her programs to get out of that get into that second round. We got our starters hitting the court for Stanford. It's going to be McKenna Vicini. They're also going to be starting Elia Rubin, Cami Minor, one of the amazing seniors that's returning this season, a 6-foot setter junior from Redondo Beach, California. Cami Minor definitely making her name known all throughout the NCAA.
Oh, she's an amazing player to watch, and she dishes out a wonderful offense. So
also a wonderful player to watch, libero Elena Ogilvie, 5'10", libero out of Honolulu, Hawaii, a senior. A lot of these seniors getting a chance to return. Also going to be getting a start in the first serve in the game is freshman Julia Blashoff from Carlsbad, California. She delivers. Mackenzie Harris for the Bears, their senior, 5-year senior, getting that first start of the game. It's going to be a first intentional block, and the Bears are showing some good block defense there. That is something they are going to have to show throughout this game. Harris again, and it's popped up. Good job by Annette Baker getting the start. She's going to be a junior this year, I believe, out of Fayetteville. She's getting that popping those up there. The Bears have a huge block in front of them.
Yes, and Stanford's just a big physical team. You can see it across the roster. Their front line is never smaller than 6'1", and so they're going to be putting a lot of pressure on the Bears offense.
Pass there from Michaela Boone, Bears libero returning. Nice up there from Ogilvie, but not able to pop it up enough. So CC Hune gets that first kill for the Bears. All the Bears fans on their feet. It's going to be 1-all. CC Hune, a returning 5-year senior for the Bears. She provides so much leadership. We're so happy to have her back out of Cascade, Wisconsin. Michaela Boone will get the first serve for the Bears, the 5-year senior out of Cortland, Nebraska. The Bears returning a lot of players as well, and it's a freshman, Gabby Placide, getting the first block for the Bears. And great adjustment there from Elia Rubin. She just kind of went inside after seeing that she tried to take Gabby Placide's line. And after seeing that awesome block that she got, she ended up making the adjustment and cutting to the corner there. And
that's what great players do, is they find a way to score.
Getting the serve now. And it's going to be a service error from Ogilvie. So it's going to be 2-all as the Bears transition out. All right. Getting a transition now into the game. One of the freshmen for the Bears, Bella Lepore from Brentwood, Tennessee, coming in. headed to the service line. Bears really happy with the recruiting class they got this year. Placide is a Colorado native, one of the teammates of Izzy Bennett. All right, look at Sid Cole popping this one up, and Harris comes in, and it's a big kill for Mackenzie Harris on the outside.
I love the composure of Bella Laporte, the fact that here she is, a freshman, stepping out the service line, not only delivering a tough ball, but comes up with a key dig during that rally.
Laporte delivers a second serve to Stanford. You know, no big deal. Your first college game, it's against Stanford. All right, whatever.
Love that.
Back row attack is going to be in the net as the players still getting themselves warmed up, and the Bears will take a lead. It's 4-2.
Well, and here's the thing is that in this type of environment, this is a packed gym right now here at the bank, and that there's just a good energy, and you just got to feed off of it.
Go at the freshman again. Nice roll shot. Harris with a perfect pass. They're going to come out to Harris. She makes the adjustment in the middle. Ceiling! The Bears ceiling already coming into play. It's going to be 5-2.
So small victories. I always feel as a longtime coach that if you could have those small victories and get some matchups that right there you saw Mackenzie Harris attacking out of the middle. That was planned and that she was able to execute.
They're going to send it out to the outside, off the blockers. Baker's able to keep that in play, and she goes for a back row attack. Good power from Baker. We're going to have a tip here. And Sid Cole puts that down. Aggressive net play from the real senior, 4-year senior there, Sid Cole for the Bears. She'll have a chance to be back.
Gosh, and that Baker was just so athletic. Not only she make a great dig, but just come flying out of the back row. Just shows how loose the Bears are playing right now as a team.
Wonder if her family made the journey from Georgia to come and watch today. Nice middle attack. And the Bears have that up again. It was Baker. Amazing defense. And that's going to be called in. So Stanford will take it back. It's 6-3 UNC. Substitutions coming in now. It's going to be Kelly Bellardi entering the game from Manhattan Beach, California. She'll head in, and it's Jordan Harvey who heads out. Harvey will serve short. Harris will send this to. That's a back row attack again from Baker. And a touch called from the line judge. It's 7-3.
It's always nice to have those players that are able to jump and swing out of the back row. Right there was just a pick out of the back row. And again, Baker is so athletic, she makes that look easy.
Sophomore Bryn Reina substitutes in for Baker. What a pivotal hole for the Bears, trying to fill a spot left by CC Hune. And those two players stepping up and playing phenomenally so far. Reines is able to get through the block. Miner sends it back. Sammy Francis trying to get a couple hits on the ball. Miner's just pushing it around. They come back outside, and they're going to call a touch on Sid Cole. She nods.
Yeah.
She did touch it. All right.
But you know what? That's what you want to be able to have is play great defense, and you just got to out rally. And the longer the rally lasts, that's good for the Bears. And the fact that because definitely the Cardinal has the offense to terminate.
Excellent pass on serve receive from Mackenzie Harris. Back row attack from Harris, and UNC takes the ball back. It's 8-4.
And right now, the Bears twice have scored out of the back row, out of serve receive. So I wonder if the Cardinals going to make an adjustment and maybe change their defense and think about changing up their blocking scheme as well, just so they're more aware of it.
That was a great front row effort there from Maddie Davies, the Green Acres Washington junior for the UNC team. She just came out. Rachel Greek, a sophomore from Castleview, Colorado, is going to come in to serve and play defense for her. So that'll be a service error for the Bears. They were going for an aggressive short one, it looked like. Sammy Francis heads out of the game now. That's going to be putting in the middle McKenna Machini. She's from Lexington, Kentucky. Stanford getting a lot of those high school recruits that are from Team USA. And so a lot of junior Olympians.
And that's just shows the respect of the program that they've built there at Stanford. And so as a longtime volleyball fan, you've just been watching their success year after year after year. They're always at the top of the conference and top of the nation, so it's pretty special.
My daughter and I were talking about this in the car. She looked up basically the grades you have to have also to just be a student at Stanford, let alone play collegiate volleyball for Stanford. You have to at least have a 3.9. They prefer that 4.0 through high school.
That's
and then
remarkable.
have to have amazing scores. So not only are these players you're seeing women who've been succeeding in volleyball for years, but they're also amazing academic students.
Right.
That's going to be our first time out. We'll be right back here on ESPN Plus. Welcome back to Bank of Colorado Arena in Greeley, Colorado. That heat wave has been hitting the country, and so Stanford comes out from Colorado expected to see the mountains. They don't see any today. It has been rain
all day.
We needed that a lot, though. We needed that breather, but usually beautiful weather here for our guests that come into town. UNC has Sid Cole at the service line. They're up 10-5. They go at the stack. Minor, beautiful set to the outside. Bryn Reinez is there to cover on that. And a tip, quick tip off of CC Hume, just barely getting off the fingers of Achini.
Well, right, CC Hume for the Bears in the middle. She's just saved a few balls, just that she's just keeping the ball in front of her and she's just pushing it off the hands. You can see that there. She's just finessing it. But a kill is a kill.
Right, and freshman Gabby Placide is back in up front. Looks like she's going to be moving over to that right side hole left by Rachel Hickman for the Bears. Very, very quick attack there from Stanford.
Bacchini was so fast on that slide behind the center, and you can see how low and fast that is, that you don't have any time to react. It's just a beautiful assist.
Cami Minor heads back to serve, so setter will be in the back. All those rules will apply. Look at that patience and layout from Ogilvy on that pass. That score right there is all about that amazing defense.
Well, and we always we applaud great defensive moves.
Yes.
And so just the Bears are trying to spread out the Stanford defense as much as they can, making sure that they're playing line to line.
Minor's going to pop one down low. That pass is going to go over the net. So here's another middle attack. And Cole not able to get over there fast enough. Maybe her own tall block kind of hiding that from her.
Well, you kind of see Bacchini matching Hune, the Bears Hune, because they're both tipping and placing balls. It's not just saving a ball. It's about placement and putting it to where the defender's not.
Minor delivers again. This one will be up. Cole will head out for that. Placide will make a tight cut. It's going to be out of bounds. No touch. I do like that aggressive cut on the ball, though. Yeah.
But Minor right now, she is controlling the set and getting the Cardinal back into this match, and the fact that at the service line, just so much pressure. It's low and flat, and the ball's dropping quickly.
And that's your leader, right? That's your quarterback there, like letting people know we're just going to stay patient and stay into this. Look at the patience on that hit for CC Hume. Little bit more power and pop. She knew she couldn't tip it, as they're all ready for that. And then she just barely gets it off the hands of the blocker and right in the corner.
Yeah, and works that opposite direction. So really, again, just spreading out that defense.
Bryn Reinez sets at the service line for the Bears.
That's a good break for the Bears right there, and the fact that they were patient and waiting with their block. So the Bears have to track right now Stanford, because they have great weapons coming at them right now, and they have to just have patience and not get too anxious with their blocking scheme.
I do like that the Bears serve aggressive, keeping them out of their system.
Well, all teams want to be serving aggressive, and so the more pressure you can put on to a passer, then the pass is not as perfect up to the setter, and the setter doesn't have as many options to dish that ball to.
Taylor Bevan heads back to the service line for Stanford. She goes at Annette Baker with a perfect pass off serve receive. They come back to Placide. Excellent up there from the Stanford and off the arms of Baker. Stanford staying in this. It's 13-11.
If any time that Minor with the Cardinal can just spread out her offense, and then she's be able to set her players from the left side of the pin to the right side of the pin. So that makes it tough for the Bears to track.
Excellent layout there from Miner. Keep that ball alive. Defense first. And that is an excellent block from Hune and Placide.
Love the big smiles when you get a stuff block, especially from a freshman coming into the court when you get those opportunities. That's
Right?
That's one for the scrapbook for her.
Gabby Miner showing absolutely no respect. As a freshman, sometimes that's kind of the great thing.
Yeah.
Right? As a freshman, you have like no knowledge of how hard it should be, and you just go out and meet the challenge and
just
do the
play.
thing, which is amazing. Middle subbing out now. Sammy Francis will be back in for Stanford. That's going to send back Ogilvy to the service line. It's 14-12. UNC up by 2 in this first set against number 3 ranked Stanford.
Oh,
that's
a great
serve. Serve right on the line. Excellent serve from Elena Ogilvy.
Well, and the Cardinal are serving Mackenzie Harris in that view, and the fact that Mackenzie's also an attacker, so she has to pass and then swing out to attack and put more pressure on her.
Excellent pass there. She stepped up to the challenge. Miner's going to pop that one up. So Ogilvy is going to come on over and set, and they're going to call that one in. Nice hit on the right side from Jordan Harvey.
Just a nice pop and swing on the ball and splitting that defender. So
Ogilvy delivers again. This will be tied now. They're going to come back to Placide, who makes an adjustment. Goes over the top of the blockers. Excellent. Excellent up from Bevan. Placide. And they're going to come back to her. She goes wide. And they're going to call that out of bounds. I thought there was a touch. Yeah, I love that placement, though. That was open.
She just missed it wide, and she didn't have anybody up. They were late to close, so that's pretty exciting.
What great vision from Gabby Placide over there. From where we're sitting, we can definitely see that spot on the court really well. And it's going to be a service error. Damage is done by Stanford, though. It's all tied up at 15. Bella Lepore comes back in, the freshman ready to serve. This was a great rotation
I was
for the
just going
Bears
to say,
last
she went on a little, like a 2 or 3 point run when she was last in, so that's what the Bears are hoping for one more time.
She goes at the stack again. Miner's going to send it out. Nice big swing from Elia Rubin.
Rubin is high, and she just is so smooth with her arm, and she's just using the top of those hands, and just makes it that tough a ball to defend.
Velarde back to serve again for Stanford. They are going at Mackenzie Harris. Coach is right, and it's going to be the first slide of the night for Maddie Davies and Sid Cole.
You can see, this is why Sid Cole was nominated and one of the top setters in the country last year with her efficiency and the fact that it was just a beautiful ball out to the pin and just let her hit her.
Mackenzie Harris serving at 16 all, and that'll be a service error. 16-17. Stanford takes the lead. Substitutions coming in again. Blashoff will be back in up front, hitting on the outside. Miner will go over to the right. And it's going to be Sammy Francis in the middle. Elia Rubin hits to the back row for Stanford, and she'll serve. Here comes Michaela Boone with a really good pass on serve receive. And Bryn Reines gets, I believe, her first kill of the game.
I like how this is, we're just matching point for point. One, one outside versus the other outside. So now if can either program just kind of eke out and be able to get a string of 1 or 2 points here.
Bears substituted Mia Lydiard, one of their setters from Salt Lake City. She's going to come in and serve. She has a nice crunch time serve. And it's a big swing from Sammy Francis, kind of matching the Bears play for play there.
She was. And that was, everybody here in the arena they heard the pop of that ball.
That block definitely not seamed for the Bears, letting her see that whole net and the whole court and know exactly where she wanted to place it. Anna Pringle getting in the game. 5'10" sophomore. That's going to be up. Nice save on that, jumping up. It was Rufia saving that one. The Bears not able to match. So excellent defense from Elia Rubin, kind of doing it up front and doing it in the back row.
Well, that's so important. When the ball's off of the block, you just kind of throw your body out there and try to make something that happen. And it just shows what great athleticism they are.
Pringle set to deliver again off of Harris. And Lepore will send that over. That was pushed up a little bit forward from, but also the Bears getting ready to call a defense timeout there. They want that defense to cover. As you see, that ball is floating to a place where the hitter is going to need to tip. It's fairly open and obvious against this number 3 ranked Cardinal team that she's going to have to tip. You need to get that coverage moved over.
Yeah. There's a lot of good things happening, but right now the Bears, they need to just capitalize. When they get an opportunity to score, they got to be in system and be able to run their offense. And right now they have hitters that are not able to swing full force just yet.
When the Bears have actually swung, I've been really impressed.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with Placide and Reynes and Harris. The first couple, the game getting started, Harris really had a lot of passes that had to go her way just due to them being out of system. So the Bears, you're right, being able to really swing and get into that is going to be a place where the Bears have to feel comfortable.
Well, and they got to continue to play loose, and just keep a big smile on their face, and you got to keep it close because you can't get nervous all of a sudden, going, I'm afraid to make a mistake. It's just going out and being relaxed and playing at a high level.
Yeah, this is definitely not a must-win scenario for the Bears. The Bears win this. That's just an incredible moment for them.
Right.
And that is going to be something that they want. But it's the first game of the season. Nobody's in a must-win situation right now. Everyone's still feeling things out. So staying loose and keeping that mental game light and fun is really important right now. Anna Pringle heads back to the service line. Stanford's up by 3. Go at the freshman, have a better pass there, and Reynes is able to get through the block. Nice push there from the sophomore. Right, Sid Cole heads back to serve. That's going to bring back in Gabby Placide.
And this could be a good line. This is a good lineup for the Bears, and the fact that they have a very vocal front row player with CeCe Hune in the middle. Yes. She's very alert and talking to her wing players.
Yeah, and that's she gets a touch on that block, and so she's prepared now to make those adjustments. Definitely a good hit. Just make those couple adjustments and keep that front row not looking quite so open. Jordan Harvey comes back in. She's playing right side today. I'm going to say for Kendall Kipp. Maybe. Yep. I don't know if we're going to see her too much today. And I think that's important for all teams right now. When you have a player who can play at a specific level.
Right.
In these early games, you may not need to put them in. I'm sure the crowd here would love to have a chance to see future Olympians out on the court.
Wouldn't we all, right?
Wouldn't we all, right? Well, when we played Illinois several years ago, I don't think we realized we were watching a future Olympian in that matchup where the Bears almost beat number 12 ranked Illinois. Excellent up there from Bryn Reynes. Oh, and just a block. Nice block. Mackenzie Harris was falling backwards.
Yeah, that one. But you got to swing away and be challenging the block, and then you just rely on your coverage that your teammates are going to be there. Again, Stanford across the net, they're very disciplined with their block, and so they're big and physical, and they're definitely pressing over, and so you really have to keep your eye on, keep the ball in front.
Taylor Bevan will have one in the net. The Bears will take this back. It's 20-22.
So here's opportunity.
Yes.
And we've seen through the years how Michaela Boone can go on a run here, so she's got to keep pressure on the Cardinal to be able to create a little bit of havoc over there.
Absolutely one of the most consistent servers for the Bears in the last several years. Nice big block from Placide. She got a hand on that, slowed it down. Baker not quite able to keep it up. Loving seeing this block on the right side for the Bears. Rachel Hickman is a big hole to fill.
Right, yeah.
Coach Oates going to call a timeout. It's 20-23. Stanford up. Excellent server up for them too in Elena Ogilvie.
Well, if you're a Bears fan, this is kind of where you want to be. You want to be able to keep it close, and the fact that they have an opportunity to get a couple good balls and be able to just, again, because if you keep it close, then you can maybe just eke it out, and then you have one set under your belt, and you know you're going to get more opportunities ahead. So and again, you have to be aggressive, but you have to be also smart. The
Yes.
fact that you have to be, and this is what I love about Northern Colorado is that they, as a group, they kind of separate out during the timeout by positions. And so the middles are talking to the middles, and the outsides are talking to the outsides, and setters are talking to setters. So they're getting some insight from their teammates.
When you're just because you're on the bench doesn't mean you're
Oh, no.
on the bench. Like you are actively on the bench
Yes.
here, talking to your teammates about what tiny adjustments. Because you can see so much from sitting over here on the floor.
Oh, sure, right. And also when you're getting that feedback from your teammate, going, hey, you know what, you got this. Hey, just go ahead and seal that block or whatever it is. That kind of gives you a boost as a player, knowing that not only do you have your coaches advising you, but your teammate is behind you.
Absolutely. Our players are going to take the floor again. Stanford up by 3 in this first set. Front row for UNC, Maddie Davies, Gabby Placide, and Mackenzie Harris. You know, the thing we have not seen very much of in this set is so far at all is the setter dump. Really too many at all. Middle attack there from Davies, great up from Ogilvy. Miner is going to send it back out again to Rubin. And they're going to say that's out of bounds. The Bears will take that. It's 21-23. Lepore heads back in to serve.
Well, that's just a good aggressive error. And
Yes.
so, and that you just would tell your outside, keep swinging.
Yes.
Because that's not, you don't want to hold back and change anything. Just keep swinging.
Those outside hitters take so many swings during a game. They're not going to nitpick that one. That was just happened to go out of bounds. And I believe that might have been off the head of a Bear. Harris is laughing a little bit.
Smiling about it. Good.
So I think that's it. It's going to be set point now, Stanford. Headed back to serve Kelly Velarde. Velarde ready to deliver. It's going to be a short one. Davies takes that one. They go out to Harris, and she hits a big swing. She kind of gave it back to him, I would say.
Love that swing. Love it when your middle can take the first ball as well.
Yes. That was a smart play for Maddie Davies, too. She's falling back. She can get her long body there instead of somebody having to dive out and then be taken out of being able to hit. Harris heads back to serve. She floats that one in. Miner's going to send it out. And definite touch there from the Bears. That's a kill from Rubin, and that is set point for Stanford. So it's 22-25. Stanford takes the first set. And we're getting ready to switch sides. We'll be right back here on ESPN+. Welcome back to Bank of Colorado Arena here in University of Northern Colorado in Greeley, where Stanford took the first set up against the Bears. But the Bears were really in that set.
Oh, and the Bears led for much of the first set.
Yeah,
and so
up to 15.
Up to 15, and then they tied at 15-15. So, with the Bears, if I'm looking at the stat sheet, I'm saying, how do we slow down Rubin on the outside for Stanford?
Yes.
And then I'm also telling my team, we got to serve more aggressively. They're just in system a little bit too much, and I think that was kind of the key early on. Now, late set, the Bears got to be able to serve tough and try to get Stanford out of their rhythm.
Bears are traditionally very aggressive serving team. No aces so far. Aaliyah Rubin hitting 429 for an outside hitter. I don't think you can want much more than that anytime they're over 300. So she had a really great set there. Jordan Harvey on the right side hitting 333. McKenna Vicini not getting too many attempts. She's 2 for 4 for hitting 500. Sammy Francis in the middle hitting 250. For the Bears, Bryn Reinez is 3 for 7. She's hitting 286. Maddie Davis is hitting 500. Cece Hune is hitting 571. She's 4 for 7 up there. So the super senior really showing what she has. And out of the back row, and then Baker hitting 333. Gabby Placide's numbers looking like she's hitting. It looks different than what it actually is from watching. She's really brought a lot on that block.
Right.
And I've been really impressed with her performance so far out there.
Yeah, she's definitely going to just keep getting better and improving every single set.
Reinez goes for a tough serve. They're going to be out of system, and Stanford just shows you that's how it's done. Sid Cole calls for that one. She pushes it out to Harris. The Bears are going to have this one picked up. They're going to come back to Placide. She makes a nice cut. Miner will be out of it for playing defense. They go back to Rubin. Nice volley so far. 3-person block on CC Hune. And Stanford says no thank you.
Well, Stanford was able to put up 3 blockers against CC Hune, and CC Hune barely had enough time to just gather her feet and get in the air. So, and we know that she can definitely deliver a big, heavy ball, and when she's able to create just a little bit bigger approach.
And look at how it just seems like there's not very many steps they have to take to get into the position to create that 3-person block. 3-person block, not something you see super often in the Big Sky Conference.
No, that's very true.
Yeah.
They always have. Everybody seems to pull one. Sometimes they'll take left front or middle front. Sometimes they'll do their middle and right. It just depends. But
the returns from Stanford, that just goes to show you the Bears not able to get into their quick offense because they're staying out. They're keeping them out of system. And you young players at home, never out discredit a free ball that keeps somebody out of system. Smart tip there from Harvey. Bears go out to Placide, and that's just a big one-on-one block. That was going to be Elia Rubin getting into that one.
Well, and Ruben and Francis together, they are just, and it's so satisfying to get a block like that when you're able to terminate and put that ball back straight down.
Ogilvy will deliver again. They're growing at Harris. That's the plan. Excellent set from Sid Cole. Beautiful placement.
Beautiful.
Touch on that one for the Bears. Cole's going to push that back row to Baker. She comes in. Francis will pop it up. Miner's going to go middle. Nice up there from Michaela Boone. Baker tracks it down. Harris free balls it over. Miner will have some players in her way. Look at this other up here from Michaela Boone. Hune sends it over. It's a little tight, but Francis says she likes it that way, and it's going to be put away by Sammy Francis.
Miner in that rally, I was just drooling over how beautiful she was. There was times she was on her feet setting. There's times she's on her knees setting. There's times when she was just off the net by 15 feet.
Absolutely. She was riding a motorcycle in traffic trying to make that set, and she still did, and put it exactly where her hitters need it. You know, we talk a lot about how amazing and what a difference a lot of these outside hitters or a lot of these hitters make, and they always get like the fun, exciting numbers.
Yeah.
But how do they get that ball?
Right.
It's that setter.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm shocked in the NCAA. I feel like high school ball, middle school ball, you always talk about your setter. College ball doesn't always really talk about setters as often when we're watching games and things like we're watching Texas or some other big games. They're not always talking about the setters. None of this is possible without that quarterback there just showing what they can do.
The precision a setter has in delivering the ball, and it's literally on a dime because it has to be specialized to each of their players, and so some like a little higher, some like a little bit closer, and so it's a fine art.
Cami Miner didn't even have to move for that one. She sends it right over to Ruben, and the Bears are going to try to hunt that down. And then Baker talking to herself about dialing in a couple of those passes. Now, the difference between probably top 25 team and top 50 team in the NCAA, and then that top number 1 and top 25 team is speed. That's really the only difference that you're going to see in those games, is just how much faster it's going to roll. And so that's some of the things that these Bears players are talking to themselves about. I need to get myself there. Oh, they called a back row attack on Sid.
Yeah, back row block on that. Just because the setter from Northern Colorado, she went up, and so she was above the height of the net and was going up with one hand, and so that was considered a back row block because she's in the back row.
Yeah. One of those silly technical rules, but that's basically part of why too the Bears want to play against teams like this, is that timing and really understanding how to push themselves faster. A couple years ago, now coaching for Montana State in the Big Sky, Taylor Ells, she spent some time playing in Europe over the summer, and her timing, she was so fast when she came back, and that was one of the things that you just pick up on. So.
Oh yeah, the speed of the game, and it's played at a higher level as well.
And both Baker and Boone will dive out for that one. Francis having to hit that one off speed. She delivers.
She is being just a dominating force right now with blocking from pin to pin as well as attacking. That she's hungry for the ball and just taking it to it.
Francis definitely waking up here in the second set. She was hitting 250 previously. She's going to wake up and be hitting, and those numbers are going to be much better coming out of the second set.
Well, it's important Northern Colorado right now being down by 4, they got to go on a run right here.
Harris delivers. That serve. They're going to come back to Francis. She gets between the block. Good up from Lepore, and it's a tip from Reynes. Look at her, Kelly Velarde running out for that one. Amazing defense. This is tight over the net.
Oh.
Ruben tries to put it away. Excuse me. That's Blashoff trying to put it away. Bears able to get there. Blashoff again on the left side. The Bears skip it over. Still live. And touch on that for Bryn Reynes. Sid Cole's going to send it back to Reynes. That's a nice short send. Look at how quick. Again, setter. Can we talk about our setter? Look at how fast that play was.
Yes,
that was very low to the net. That way they didn't have a chance to put all of those players on her for the block. So she gets the one-on-one opportunity and Reynes puts it away.
Yeah, just being resilient on defense. Love that.
Gotta play scrappy against these teams. Nothing can hit the floor. Out of system. It's a pass set to Blashoff. And that'll be out of bounds off the Bears block. I like it though. Getting in her face. Now that is a freshman player there.
Well, and just not backing down, and has just determined, and so what a fun player to have on your team.
Also getting her first time seeing NCAA ball, and that's going to be blocked out of bounds off the hands of McKenna Vicini.
So we're canceled each other out. Yes. Outside scored, and the Bears outside scored and canceled each other out.
Michaela Boone heads back to serve for UNC. Would be nice for her to get on that service run. Bears still looking to find that ace. Against this Stanford, it's a chance. Nice power fight there. Cami Minor giving Bryn Reynes just a little once-over there afterwards. So Cami Minor will win that battle.
Well, it's just the strength, you know.
Absolute strength. Cami Minor heads back to serve now. These are two amazing setters. They really are. So the deliver. That's a really smart idea from Sid Cole. But that fast defense of Stanford just sucks it up.
Well, they were able to just, off of the dump, they were dig that up, and then boom, it's just right into system so quickly that Vicini was just able to throw it to the ground.
This is about timing. Harris will pop this one up. Cole's going to go back row attack from Harris. Oh, they're going to try to set each other up. It's going to be a tip. Reynes with a good play on that. She comes into the middle and gets off the block. And that'll be another kill for Bryn Reynes.
I love that play where Reynes kind of swings around and then just be able to hit that that inside ball.
Sid Cole heads back to the service line now. So both of our setters are back row. Gabby Placide back in up front for the Bears. Almost had their first ace, but look, just this cleanup defense from Stanford. And it's Placide who gets into a big one on the right side for the Bears.
Well, that's what the Bears needed in order to get this crowd riled up and get the energy going.
Between Reynes and Placide, Bears fans start to make a little bit more noise. Minor's going to send it back over and off the hands. Jordan Hardy gets it right off the hands of Placide. So smart set. I thought maybe she might push it back because most of the play was moving over there, so I was kind of expecting a back set. So.
But if we can work it off of the top of the hands and just...
Right. Who am I to tell Cami Minor who to set? I'm really nobody. Taylor Bevan back to serve now. Reynes with a great pass off a serve receive. Middle attack from Kuhn.
Great effort.
And Stanford's able to keep it in play. And the Bears are thinking it's 4 hits. No. And so the Bears don't even challenge, but it did because the first one was a block.
Yes.
So they blocked it up, so that doesn't count.
Correct.
So
I'm not quite sure what CC Hune was thinking, but she thought maybe that was 4 hits.
And Elia Rubio just gave us a beautiful show.
It was hitting practice.
Yes. So Bears are going to call a timeout. I don't think they can still call a challenge.
No, I think they were just calling. I saw coach just. Yeah.
All right, so that's going to be the first timeout. Bears are down 7-12 on Stanford. We'll be back after this message. Welcome back to Bank of Colorado Arena. The Cardinals up by 5 on the Bears here in the second set. Showing us just how fast that number 3 team in the country. Now number 3 that no one's even played yet.
Right.
That's just all
so that's just because coaches know, and that's just it's a nod of respect. And the fact that Stanford, they just look so much smoother than they did in the first set, and so they're just playing at a very high level.
NCC Hune and Sid Cole able to connect on a good kill, getting that side out for the Bears. It's 8-12. Yeah, both of these teams lost in the tournament last year to San Diego, and I was a little surprised that San Diego made the Final Four.
Oh, yes.
And so
what
I was a little
season.
surprised to not see them higher up in the rankings this year. Very nice duck on that, barely out of bounds. Nice aggressive serve.
Well, and a lot of things, still a lot of programs have that COVID year where they're still having these fifth-year seniors, and also the transfer portal. That impacts a lot of programs differently.
That's true. Elena Ogilvie and Stanford is returning a lot of their players. They wanted to come back. They wanted to be able to play together, be together.
Oh gosh.
And show the country that they should have taken them more seriously last year. So number 1, you got Texas. Texas is the team that won the national championship last year. However, several of their players have left. So Logan Eggleston is out. Zoe Fleck, I think possibly one of my favorite liberos in the game. And that's only because her hair was so amazing. Like every time she played, it was like her hair was the 7th player. And I was always so fascinated watching it. Both of those players now playing for Team USA. So yes, Texas is ranked number 1 right now, but missing a couple key pieces for them in their offense. Then Wisconsin is listed as number 2. Wisconsin definitely didn't go as deep into the tournament as they wanted to.
True.
They got sniped by that amazing server from Pitt.
Right.
And so then obviously Stanford was number 1 in their division. But nice up there from Gabby Placide after the ball came off the block. Excellent job by the freshman to keep that ball alive.
The Bears are showing some life again, where they feel like, here we are, and they're starting, because they lost their identity for just a second, and now they're starting to go, okay, now we're attacking out of the middle. Now we're finding our 0-1 is able to score on the outside.
Where the Bears have the most success is when they have a chance to play their very, very fast offense. And so great job there by Cammie Miner to keep that ball. Because Bears, as they keep finding that speed in their offense, they are going to grow, and this crowd is going to get louder, and the momentum is going to keep growing for them. So just a heads-up play from Cammie Miner.
Yeah. And the ball control right now of the Cardinals serve receive is fantastic.
Yes.
So many balls are right to Miner every single time.
And big block again. That's going to be Julia Blashoff getting into that one.
She's fun.
She is.
I really enjoy watching her compete.
Well, you're not a freshman player actually getting out there on the court for Stanford when you don't have something to offer. Just an incredible performance so far for her from Carlsbad, California. And that's going to be an ace. So those 2 outsides coming up big right now for the Cardinals. It's going to be another timeout, 10-17.
Well, Ruben even has that top spin serve. And so the ball just reacts differently. So if it gets on you quick, and then the ball ends up passing you, and you don't end up passing the ball.
Right. So that was just a form. That was just where the physics, so much of physics comes into play in volleyball. And so that was just body positioning and why that ball was able to ricochet off the arms like that. And a lot of that is created by that spin that she's able to put on.
Oh, sure, because there's a lot of velocity coming behind a top spin serve, and so and I applaud the athletes that can rip it like that, because that's really something special. The Bears have got to find their rhythm off. They got to start just with the simple things, the serve and pass. That's the most important thing, and then they have to be able to then feed the ball and then play with that laughter and the smile on your face to be able to play at ease, because you don't want to be playing tight and frustrated, because that's no fun for anybody.
Yeah, Bears looking to see if they might be able to loosen anything up here.
And I just love this time of year. This is such a fun and exciting opening weekend for NCAA volleyball, and it's just, you get to see some of the very best competition. So And it's fun to track to see how everybody does throughout the weekend.
Players starting to take the court here. Getting ready to go. It's 10-17. Felt like a little bit of a longer minute timeout to me. Ruben delivers again. Another nasty serve. The Bears keep it alive thanks to that ceiling. Oh, is that going to be out? Oh, the Cardinals are going to play it. And it's Blashoff able to get a bit. And look at Annette Baker keeping herself in that play.
Look at that ball.
And Harris is able to come in and actually hit. They have to go back to Harris again. Smart block. You see how big Cami Miner's block was? And same thing with Sammy Francis. She's just so long. She just kept it going.
Gosh.
Very scrappy play from the Bears. I think they should be very proud of that volley.
Right.
That was just unorganized volleyball all around, and them just continuing to show that they're staying in it and showing grit the entire time they're there. Ruben will deliver again. They go at Harris. Smart play, honestly. And she comes back in for a kill. That's going to roll down the arms of Sammy Francis. She didn't quite seal the net.
That was, and Francis was spot on the play before. She blocked 3 balls in a row.
Absolutely. So great. What I love is that grit shown by Mackenzie Harris there and coming back into it.
Right.
They had to go to her. She's their 5th-year senior. She's going to be their leader. They're going to call that out of bounds off the tape. Bryn Reina is saying no touch, no touch. So it's going to be 12-18 now. Harris heads back to serve.
Well, and Harris has got to keep the pressure on right here. Oops.
Yeah.
And that's one she wished she had back. Because
absolutely.
Especially after a big swing like she had in the front row.
Anna Pringle comes back in the game to serve for Sammy Francis. It's going to be 12-19. Stanford with a much more commanding lead here in this set. Nice way to sit on that ball. I love that pass from Bella Laporte. She really sat on it and kept her platform exactly where she needed to.
I think she's going to be a player one to watch for the season. I think you're going to end up saying her name quite a bit because she just seems to have her feet underneath her a lot, and she's not reaching for a ball, and she's very balanced.
Well, you know how I love me a defender.
Me too.
Blashoff with that amazing approach. She's able to get the touch off the block. That'll be another good kill going line. Jordan Harvey substitutes back in. She'll be hitting on the right side with Cami Miner headed to the back row. Can we just give a shout out to the UNC crew right now? As we just had a stretcher, a paramedic crew, and a party who was taken out of here. And the game just kept flowing like nothing was even happening. So great job there from UNC Police, the Greeley Fire Department, and the staff here, the event staff, best. Just excellent here as we're able to try to help people have the best, safest time they can while still continuing to play. Miner's going to send it back. It's Blashoff again.
That's hard to stop. You cannot stop her one-on-one. No. So she's going to beat that inside. So she just is so athletic. It jumps really well, and you can see that she's going to really have a great career.
Absolutely. A whole career ahead of her. This is true. She's 18, 19. Whole career ahead of her. And nice kill there from CC Hune in the middle. I love what Sid Cole did with this set because that ball was kind of coming right at her face, but she still managed to deflect it as a set with such soft hands and get that exactly where it needed to be in order for CC Hune to make something happen. Taking some time to just make sure there's no wet spots on the floor. Again, keeping everyone safe.
Oh, yes.
That's what we're doing here tonight.
Well, and these girls work hard.
Yes.
They're sweating on defense. They're getting after it, and
they're amazing. They're amazing students. Their athletics their academics achievements are incredible. They have so many places to go. Nobody needs an injury this early in the season.
Goodness, no.
Absolutely not. We're not having it. All right, so we're getting reset again here. Bryn Reina is back at the service line for the Bears. It's 15-21. Stanford up by 6. Great up there from Ogilvy. Miner's going to come back out again to Harvey. Wow, just beautiful line
She's
shot.
so fun. I giggle because I'm in awe of just how springy and how vertical she can get. And so that just goes to show that just a very high level training and so well coached and so confident. So you don't see any players feeling frustrated. They know that they can go out and make these plays.
CC Hune will hit the ball 2 times there as an overpass kind of ended up going into Francis. Now, you mentioned before that pretty much anybody that's going to be playing front row for Stanford has to be at that minimum of 6'1". And Harvey is at that 6'1", so there's just so much spring and bounce. She's still putting in all of that athletic effort. It's not quite the same as being 6'6", you know, because you've got that 5. If you look at this block, if you can see the block that we're seeing here, Jordan Harvey is only like 2 inches below where Sammy Francis is into her hands are ending up being. So the aggressive block that she's providing over there is coming from her athleticism and her
Oh, sure, right. And that's across the board. We are so fortunate to be able to sit in these seats and watch these outstanding girls compete, and we get to see some incredible athletes.
Yes.
And so, and then have them just, you know, on display for a sport that they love.
Yes.
It could be the very best.
Well, we
it
always
is
like
quite
to
a
joke
treat.
we're just the old ladies who like to sit here and talk about volleyball. And yes, while we might be a crew here for UNC, we just love volleyball.
Oh, yes,
and this
we do.
high level of ball we get to see here from Stanford today is just making my day. Nice middle attack there from Francis as her and Miner are able to connect. Crowd
So running that
down.
Yeah, that 31 is so quick and it's in system because Miner can put it on the money right into Francis's window where she needs it. So just so precise.
It's already set point Stanford. Velarde about to deliver again. Bears are going to be out of system. Back row attack from Baker. And just an easy block from Francis. So the Bears will go down 16-25 against Stanford here in this second set. Stanford is up 2-0. We got the long timeout. And we'll be back after this. All right, folks, we get a little bit of a treat this season. We're going to have Coach Oates coming over, and she's going to join us. Coach Oates is grabbing the mic now. She's going to join us here. Just a couple quick questions for you. How's it going so far?
Well, we're doing some good things offensively. I'm pleasantly surprised with our offense. We're not defending well enough. We're not making them uncomfortable with our serve or block, and they're just able to tee off on our defense. And the few times that we got to convert those into points.
What are some adjustments we can expect to see in the coming sets?
We're going to go with the same lineup. I like what we're doing in the middle third offensively. We obviously got to stop their middles, and we can't match up with 6'6", so we got to get them out of system where they can't set their middles.
All right, Coach, well, you guys take it back in there to the locker room for the long timeout, and we will see you again in a bit after the game. We will be back after this. Welcome back to Bank of Colorado Arena. Stanford taking a 2-set lead over Northern Colorado Bears. And their hitters are getting going. We are definitely seeing some improvements now. Jordan Harvey hitting 500. It's going to be Ruben hitting 421. She's still over 400. McKenna hitting 600. McKenna Vicini hitting 600 now, getting going out of the middle. And then Sammy Francis is hitting 500 in the middle. Her defense is really coming along strong, though. She's assisted with 2 blocks. And Julia Blashoff hitting 273. So everyone over 250 right now for Stanford, for the Cardinals. Beating the Bears out 7 blocks to 1. So definitely seeing
that you're starting to see the pressure that they're putting on the Northern Colorado. So, as Coach Oates said, that they have to be able to, the Bears have to be able to serve tougher balls so they can be out of system. So Stanford doesn't have their best attackers swinging at the ball. So that was evident statistically wise. You kind of see it happening in the second set, but then when coach edifies that, you're like, oh, yep, you're right. You got to serve tough and then be able to steal some digs.
Yeah, you never want your opponent with a 6'6" middle blocker to be able to get out there and just easily be able to set her. Now, the Bears are doing a little bit of a better job of keeping McKenna Vicini out of the game there, but still really want to be able to see them be able to take Sammy Francis out.
It'll be interesting, too, in this next set to see if the Bears can also generate some offense with Davies and Placide. So Davies is the middle attacker. Right now she has 2 kills, she has 2 kills and 2 airs. But if we can generate some things and make Stanford track the middles, and so, but again, it all starts with a pass. You got to be able to get a great pass, and then even when you're playing a team like Stanford, it's not just a great pass off a serve receive. You even have to dig balls in system. You can't just pop it up and send the Stanford an easy ball. You got to be able to dig the ball to your setter so your setter can run a quick offense and not just an easy high ball to the outside.
We know the Bears would really love to take a set on Stanford. I mean, I don't know that you come into this game expecting that it's not going to be a difficult challenge. But I know the Bears would really love to get a set on them. They got a set on Creighton last week when they're in their exhibition match. And then they got a set on San Diego last year in the tournament. So
well, and it's about building that. You got to have some leadership here, and you got to have some grittiness, and you got to have leaders out on the court who are going to say, you know what, we're not backing down. We're going to fight for every point, and we're not just going to be satisfied, and we're going to work our tails off. And so it'll be interesting to see if the leadership comes forward and starts vocalizing and getting that group of 6 out there fired up.
It does look like Coach said that they're going to have the same group out there, but it does look like they've made a change. Izzy Bennett is out on the starting lineup right now. Izzy Bennett's going to be a sophomore. She can jump lights out. She's an amazing middle blocker, only 5'11", but she can really get those jumps going. Her and Gabby Placide, players that have played together when they were at school together.
At Grandview.
Yeah. So Colorado girls getting in there, both choosing to come here in that same program. So Coach just getting a chance to get a little bit of a different look. And with the Big Sky Conference does have some really strong middles. And all the middles for the Bears are going to have to be prepared and ready for this season.
Of course.
So I think it makes sense to get Bennett out there as well.
And you got to just create that depth and position. And so, you challenge each other in practice, but and you're all preparing for this game situation, and you need that depth. You need to be able to make those adjustments.
Boone heads to the service line. You heard Coach Oates say it before, and she wants them to be serving tighter. It's going to be called out of bounds, so the Bears will take a 2-0 lead. That was pretty close. I don't know.
Again, I know, and I've sat in this chair lucky enough for a little while here. I know Boone can continue to keep the pressure on that Cardinal passing.
Excellent block there from again. It's CC Hune connecting in Placide. Although Hune's pointing at Placide quite a bit, so maybe that was her arm. We'll have to see the replay there. Loving this block they're setting over there. Oh, it was Placide's hand that got in there. Here comes Boone. She's going to float that on that line. Miner has to pass once again.
Free ball.
Placide. And they're going to send it out to Harris, and she goes a little bit off speed just over the arms of Harvey. So the Bears go on a 4-0 run.
I love how the fire that they came out with, and the fact that they decided just to buckle down and play some great ball.
Nice one-handed set, and that's going to be inbounds. Nice one-handed set, keeping that in and live. Cami Miner.
She's such a phenomenal athlete.
She's amazing.
Yeah. We're big fans.
I mean, seriously, I feel like this is like all this whole season is for me is like a giant Comic-Con. If anybody actually like has a chance to actually like talk to us, really, like I will talk to you about volleyball and geek out about it for hours and hours and hours. And that's pretty much what we're just getting a chance to start out doing. It's just like Comic-Con today. I'm just looking at all of the people who are here speaking, so to speak, giving us the talk, showing us the show, showing us what they do.
Right.
And they're just all amazing, powerful women. That's an amazing play from Michaela Boone, followed by a great block for CC Hune. Look at her watch that ball all the way down.
Caleb would save the Bears.
Absolutely.
just being resilient and didn't go away on defense. And then you have Hume to come up big like that.
Love it. Bella Lepore back in again for the Bears. I agree with you, Coach. You mentioned before this game I was going to be really impressed with her and happy to see her coming in, and I am for sure.
Yeah.
That was well over the block place from the Bears. Like, that was just hit over. That's how athletic this approach was from Jordan Harvey. Like, just no touch. It was like there was no Bears block, and she just got to crank towards that line. Amazing. That's going to be a serve in the net there from Kelly Velarde. The Bears will take it. It's 6-3. Bryn Reina is ready to head in up front.
Bryn Reina is that outside hitter for the Bears. She's showing just a lot of, I like her arm swing. She stays calm. She continues to hit the ball sharp and deep.
Oh my gosh, look at that pass. Amazing. And we almost got to taste that ball from Sammy Francis.
I tried to save it, but...
I would take a smack in the. I'll take it. Just go ahead and hit me in the face.
I think it was kind of an honor that she hit the ball towards me. Thanks.
It was. Again, Comic-Con. All right, that's going to be an out-of-bounds serve from Mackenzie Harris. UNC's up 7-3 in this third set. And here we go again. It's going to be Julia Blashoff headed back in up front. And that means that Elia Rubin is going to be back to serve. Crowd getting a little more into this one.
Whew.
And that's going to be a monster serve outside.
That's a break for the Bears because Rubin has gone on a string of 2 points. The last couple times she's gone back to serve, she's got that nice top spin serve. So that's a break for the Bears.
They keep CC and Hune to serve. Bears really working that line over there. Nice. And CC Hune really had herself placed on the line. Knew that was going to be out. Love that cut, though, from Blashoff. I'd love to hear and see it again.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll get to see it again.
I'm sure we will.
She's quite the dynamo.
And, you know, Izzy Bennett is in there blocking, giving me a little bit of something different to see in the block. CC Hune. Now, we've seen her in the tournament go on really long service runs, so she must have just been looking to be aggressive and hit a spot and hit it a bit wrong. Oh, now Sammy Francis is going to serve. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love when I get to see middles actually play like the defense, because they're not just serving. Then they also have the point that follows that they need to be into. Oh, nice try for Sid Cole.
Trying to be
what a
sneaky
good
there.
idea. Very good idea for Sid Cole.
Bears got to be careful right here because they just can't have any unforced errors, and they got to be sharp and spot on to keep this set close.
Yeah, that's what they're definitely looking for. There's a lot of talking to the down judge to be a fly over there.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if they're asking about player positioning or.
That was a nice, tough serve. I'll take Mackenzie Harris. Sammy Francis just showing she can get it done all around the court. These are pinnacle players in the NCAA.
These are players that, you know, that will be up for All-American votes and All-Conference votes.
Absolutely.
And it's just...
Absolutely. Well, Stanford has, what, 5 players that are on the All-Pac-12 team, and this season alone. So just incredible. What a show. And practically has it tied up now just by aggressive serving. Right in front of the student section, too. Showing she doesn't even care what they have to say. There's a better pass there from Harris. They're going to send it out to Reines. Good pickup on defense. Miner's going to send it out to Blashoff. And that's not only in, but a touch on Sid Cole. And she goes back there again. I love it.
Well, and how quickly the tide has turned, and the fact that just one player at the service line making such a big difference.
What a gnarly serve. It's been amazing. So nice to see it. There's Izzy Bennett getting into that quick in the middle, and the Bears will take it back.
And that's the way you want to start out your year for
Yes.
Izzy Bennett.
And then here comes Gabby Placide next to her classmate, Izzy Bennett. Great serving run, though, from Sammy Francis. Cole delivers a serve. She goes at the stack. Miner's going to send it back. Off speed, Harris with a really good pass, and it's Bennett again who gets into it. So Vicini not able to come away with it. The Bears looking to take advantage of Vicini in the middle.
Well, it comes off of a good dig by Harris, and they'll be able to quickly feed their middle. And then the middle's just not swinging straight down. She's working the angles.
Yes. But also not just tipping the angles
Right.
either. She's actually swiping her hand across there with some aggression, like nice firmness to it. Nice block! It's going to go out of bounds, but I love seeing Izzy Bennett. I love hearing it. I love seeing her get up and get her hands on that.
Yeah.
Jordan Harvey heads back in the front row. All these springy athletes up front right now. Cami Miner heads to the back row, so both our setters are back row. Boone will have that one. We can make a lot of options here. It's Placide who goes big up over the top. And we don't want Ogilvy getting hurt. Glad she pulled up there. Nice hit from Placide.
If we haven't seen Placide, they've been using her primarily on the right side, but out of serve receive, she's in the left front position, and she goes ahead and hits the outside.
I'd love to see some competition there between some of these younger players for that left side hole left by KJ Inns.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
it. I mean, I think that Mackenzie Harris has been so much for this program. She's shown so much consistency. She's an MVP of the Big Sky Conference tournament. So I mean, we know that Harris is going to be filling that spot. But that holes left from graduations and just running out of years played. I mean, KJ Inns played all 5 years she was allowed thanks to that COVID extension. And nice job by Gabby Placide getting that troll. So I love seeing Rhinez and Placide fight for that. A couple other players on the bench we haven't seen too much yet in this game.
Yeah.
Zoe Gibbs has an excellent swing.
Of course,
We also
yeah.
saw her warming up in the middle, so who knows where she can end
know.
up. And then Bella Van Lannen also had some amazing swings and warm up too.
yes.
So looking forward to getting. So there's a lot of depth and options for the Bears in these coming months. And Harvey again makes that big cut. They're going to say she was there on the line.
She was on the inside of that block, and we had a great vision
And
of that.
we're going to see our first challenge there that Bears are going to call that looked like it should have been out. Hopefully. So we haven't had too much of a challenges yet this game. So the NCAA does allow you to take a look at, I think it's 2 plays, or you get to have it back if you were correct.
Yes, if you challenge and you win the challenge, then you receive your challenge back. But if you challenge the play and they go, oh no, the call stands, then you lose that challenge. And then if we were to go to a 5th set, you'll get another. But I love Coach Oates, who is trust her players in situations like that and has a good eye and knows that when the players go, no, that was out, or no, there was no touch on that.
Yeah.
So they put a lot of trust into their players during these challenge times.
Yeah, these girls run pretty honest too when it comes to things like that. And then look at what a difference it would make to the score. It'd be 11-14 instead of 12-13.
Right.
So very pivotal part.
It's totally worth it in these close plays. You can probably see here with the replay. We're just checking the placement of the ball.
So they have some different cameras than what we can see here. Those cameras are going to be set up in some strategic locations, and it looks like they're going to agree with the line judge that it was in. So if nothing, then it was a nice timeout for the Bears, getting a chance to.
That also works.
That does work. So Bears up by 1. Elena Ogilvy heads back to serve. I just watched some amazing high school reels of her that are online today, getting prepared for this game. She's a pretty great front row player too. Nice reach on that, but they're going to call a touch. Yes. So UNC is going to get the touch on this. We're going to have the freshman swap out of Lepore and Placide. It's 14-12. My daughter showed me a great meme once that like inside of every libero is a girl who thought she was going to be an outside. And,
awesome.
yeah, I think any other program, we're going to see Elena Ogilvy actually be an incredible outside.
Right.
But it's Stanford, so.
Well, you could tell.
Talent abounding.
Oh, yes.
And how important is libero anyway? I mean, pretty much on the court all the time. I would love.
Oh, back in the day, yes. We could have been something.
So back in the day, if I wasn't so old, the libero didn't exist. Now the Bears showing again why they have got. We got Sammy Francis up front. They've got to cover on that block defense, like they did that first set.
Right.
That first set was an incredible block defense. Out of bounds serve.
Both teams are taking some risks with their serves. They're working sidelines, and they're really wanting to have a low flat ball. So.
Oh, looks like the Bears. Somebody called a timeout.
I think this might be yeah.
All right, so we're going to be a 15-point media timeout. We will be back after this. We are back at Bank of Colorado Arena. There's the student section out in force here with a chance to see these high-quality athletes from Stanford. And to kick off the season for the UNC volleyball team, which has been just one of perennially the best sports available at UNC. I mean, largely due to Coach Oates and what a great program she's put together.
Yeah, year after year, you can always rely on Northern Colorado being either the top 2 or top 4 teams in the conference.
Harris gets into a serve there. Minor doesn't even have to move, and she tries to dump, and it also doesn't work. Don't see that very often, let alone from two setters.
And it just goes to show that it's early season.
It is.
First match of this.
It is.
Of the year or so.
That just barely floated out of bounds. So good abdominal skills and showing probably some good hula hoop skills too there from Ruben as she gets out of the way. Just a 1-point lead for UNC. You always do want to be the first to 15 or the first to the 5, so UNC was able to do that. Can they do these last 10? And off the blocker, out of bounds. So CC Hoon will get that point. 17-15 UNC. Izzy Bennett heads back in again up front. CC Hoon heads back to serve.
Watch for Francis here in the front row.
And that's floating out of bounds. These Bears really pushing those back row deep line serves.
Yes, and I know Coach Oates talked about being aggressive with their serving, but if you're going to be aggressive this close,
Right.
make it tough for the defender to decide to play it or not.
And then Sammy Francis back to serve, and she unfortunately goes out of bounds too. She had at least a 6-point run previously, 4 or 5-point run. Gabby Plasty heads back. This has been a great front row rotation for the Bears with Sammy Francis headed out. Sid Cole's in the back row now.
Yes, and then you have Mackenzie Harris for the Bears coming out of the back row. That she's also an option to attack.
Oh, that's true. We haven't had a lot of back row attacks in this set. And she's going to tip. Cole is out of it. And excellent job. Coach Oates over here yelling, stay high, which was absolutely the difference on that hit, being able to get over for Gabby Placide. She did stay high and stay over that block. So good coaching here from the vets. Way to listen from the young freshman. Cami Minor heads back to serve now. And Harris, no, they're going to call a two-hand touch. I was impressed.
I think Gabby was just trying to, it was coming at her so quickly.
It really was.
And then just, can't break down on serve receive, so you got to just be consistent and then track that ball all the way in, but it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. That ball is going to have a lot of movement on it.
I do like the call for the Bears that they called in the timeout here. It's 18-18. You need this set to stay in it. And you want this set.
Yes.
This is what you want for the rest of the season. You want to say, we took Stanford to 4. Like, what do you mean you can't give me
or better
7 more
yet,
points?
you beat Stanford.
Or even better, yes, we beat Stanford. We can beat these guys, And so this is definitely a point in the game where we want to see that grit and determination.
Right, and all of these moments like this prepare you for what's coming down the line. And so not only are you preparing for your season right now, and then in a few weeks it'll be time for conference play, but you're thinking big picture. How do we prepare for the first bracket game? How do we get that opportunity to play a top 10 team again? What are going to be reactions? And so that's what the weekend is about. It's about building experience. And sometimes you're going to take it on the chin, but you're going to have to learn to fight back and have that resiliency.
Last season there was a game where the Bears played a really phenomenal team And it did feel like they really took it on. Like it was a down game. It did not feel like it wasn't a lot of energy. I don't think they're taking it on the chin tonight. I think that this has been a really good showing. And I'm excited for Kentucky tomorrow.
Oh,
Kentucky rated number 10 in the country. So I'm excited. Like this game has given me a lot of excitement. And in fangirl moments, really. It's about seeing these phenomenal athletes. Great pass there to Cole. It's Reynes who's able to get off the hands of Ogilvy. So the Bears will hit 19-18, head back to serve. Reynes also a tremendous server. That's going to bring Harris back in up front. The Grandview girls are up front. I don't want to call them that because now they're in college, but as a mama, I might end up like, another serve deep out of bounds. So
I want to say like that's gonna be like 5 missed serves in this set alone for the Bears, and you look at the score and you're like, oh. But you got to be able to put pressure on, and it's just that fine balance.
Taylor Bevan back into serve. Bevan from St. Louis, Missouri. That's a good pass from Harris. They're going to send it back to Placide, and that's just a huge block from Elia Rubin. Excellent form.
Oh my goodness.
If they show this replay, just look at her whole ab crunch that she like puts in, like her whole body just tight down in there.
Yeah.
And sending that ball so straight down to the ground. Just picture perfect form. So Stanford's the first to 20. Izzy Bennett's going to get a hit. Yeah. Big kill in the middle. It's tied up 20 apiece.
And Izzy Bennett just has enough angle, enough wrist rotation on that ball to be able to use a little bit of the hands.
CeCe Hune back in up front now for the Bears. Boone is going to deliver. Ogilvy with a perfect pass on serve. Receive. Big swing. It's Elia Rubin.
She saw the split in the block and then took it. And so that's what your teammates were probably telling her as she was up in the air going, you have a split. And you can see that she just put that ball away. And that's what you got to do if you're going to be a top program.
Just a sophomore is Rubin. So between Rubin and Blashoff right now, we are just seeing the future of Stanford volleyball. Excellent block there from Placide. Middle attack from Francis. She gets a quick swing and is able to get off the arms of Hune. It's 20-22. So UNC will take their second timeout of the set. Just look at it. Just a fast arm swing, really. And it's not even like she made a solid contact with the ball. It just was that she was able to swing it so fast.
Well, and she also made herself available. So you could just tell the chemistry and the connection with her setter. Francis and Minor have that special connection, and there's a trust there. And they don't have to they don't have to talk about it because they've had, thousands and thousands of reps with each other. That they just know that become available, put your arm in the air, and then Minor's just going to deliver it to her. So just really exceptional chemistry. And you could just applaud the coaching staff on that. They just train that probably time and time again and be able to have just really special players in their program.
Such amazing talent and growth, too, coming up here from this Stanford team. Malia Tafuga, a freshman setter out of Costa Mesa, California, one of the top recruits in the country, getting a chance to come in and be on this team. So, Cami Minor's just a junior. So you got your junior freshman, which is kind of what you really always want to see on your sports team. I think that's a really fair dynamic to have someone learn for a couple years and then be able to come up. If there is an injury, though, she's one of the top recruits in the country. You've got your fifth-year senior, Kendall Kipp, returning. She's the only fifth-year I'm really seeing on here, though. So, there is a lot of juniors, sophomores, freshmen on the Stanford team. They have something to say this season. Yeah. They are going to say it loudly, and they're going to be saying it for a couple years.
Oh, yeah. And what a treat to be able to have those opportunities, and even for the Bears to be able to track each other and go, let's, be fans for each other.
Well, with the exception of that second set, the Bears have really gotten a lot of points here against the Stanford group, and I think this has been a great showing for them. A very athletic hit again from Jordan Harvey out on the right side. It's 21-23 Stanford. Harvey will come out. Kelly Velarde will head back into serve. So, I mean, this has been a really good showing, I think, for the Bears, especially after losing a player as dynamic as KJ Ince was for the whole 5 years she was here for UNC. To me, just as a fan, I love having the chance to see, like, that future and where that program has been building and where it's been going. And you know what? I have to say, I'm always so impressed with Annette Baker, but I love that this role that she fills in with the Bears. She just stepped out again, but as the Bears, she gets transitioned out for defense. Bears are really only down by 3. Can they keep that ball alive? Oh, good up there from Michaela Boone.
Oh, gosh.
Sammy Francis just came in and smashed one at her.
If they can just fight this off right here.
Yeah, it's game point here
effort
for Stanford. UNC fans are going to be on their feet, at least the student section. Again, let's not forget, too, the absolute academic achievement of these strong young ladies.
Oh, gosh,
to be able to get into Stanford as a program. And look at that up.
Oh, tight ball,
this is going to be really tight. It's going to be out of bounds. So it's 23-24. Bears have to be perfect here on out.
Now you're starting to hear the crowd. They're starting to come alive.
Right? So right now we're on game point for Stanford.
Oh, and Zoe Gibbs.
Zoe Gibbs gets a chance to come in the game. We haven't seen Zoe Gibbs yet. She's a sophomore. She has had a lot of playing time for the Bears last season, or more so than we would expect most freshmen. Comes in, gets that serve in, and it's out of bounds. It's out of bounds. It's tied up. 24-all in this set. Zoe Gibbs heads back to serve. She's going to take a breath. Bears are going to get reset. After all those service errors, she finally hits that line. Bears take the lead, 25-24. It's set point UNC.
Zoe Gibbs showing a lot of maturity right here. She comes off the bench.
That's going to be a timeout called by Stanford.
2 tough balls.
What a spot for that serve. That's amazing for the sophomore Zoe Gibbs.
Well, and that's not an easy task to do, and then she's just being able to handle it with such composure. And the pressure that Stanford's going to deliver if she puts it in system. If she gives them on their platform, they're going to come wailing for a ball, so blockers really got to keep their heads up and be able to track their hitters and communicate what's happening.
And to be able to come away from this set after you probably had 4 or 5 service errors in that set against Stanford.
Yes.
And you know those ladies over there are like, no.
Oh, Stanford they are hungry for the ball.
They want the ball all the time. And just how much they've been able to keep themselves in system even when the Bears are serving tight. So let's see what Zoe Gibbs is able to put together when she comes back out to the line.
Well, and Stanford's already ready to roll. And so right now, because you have Francis on the right side and you have Miner already talking to her, so they definitely have a specific play set that if it's in system.
There are the bells. Zoe Gibbs is ready to go. Crowd getting in off their feet. CC Hune and Annette Baker leading the group over there, telling everyone to be up and be loud. Here she goes. Zoe Gibbs goes to the line. It's a good pass to Kenny Miner. It's going to be a tip. Good. And it's a tip to the line. And we're tied up at 25-all. So someone has to win by 2. So the Bears need to side out in a service point. Or it's going to be Anna Pringle. Anna Pringle getting back there to serve. So she's going to need to serve 2.
So it starts with a pass first.
We
They've
need
been
that
serving
crowd to stay up
Harris.
and stay loud. UNC's got to get up and get loud. Take this set away from Stanford. Good pass. And nice push on that ball. Nice. Aggressive. Oh my gosh, I love that. Look at that scrappy play, and it's going to be Bennett again. More scrappy defense from Stanford. And it's Izzy Bennett with a big block. Here come the bells again, folks. It's Sid Cole heading back to serve.
Izzy Bennett showed just what type of player she is, being able to swing and keep the ball in play, working angles, and then comes up with a big block for her again.
She can jump. The girl can jump, and she puts her hands where she needs to put her hands to stop the ball. And they're just going to tip it and keep that in there. So it's tied 26 apiece again.
Beautiful placement.
Extra points, extra points. Here comes Jordan Harvey. This is a great front row lineup right now. They got to take advantage of the fact that Cami Minor's in the back row, and they want to take advantage of the fact that Vicini isn't up front, because Francis is going to get ready to come back in. Nice pass on serve receive. They go to Bennett. Cole is there on block defense. It's Placide, and she's going to try to tip that in a specific spot. This is now going to be game point again for Stanford.
Match point.
At the game that she's having, I
swing
want
away.
to see her swing away, but that's okay. That's okay. So here we go. Game point. Match point. It's up. Bryn Reynes will keep it in play. Harris will just tip it over. Free ball. They go out to Harvey with a big swing. And she's going to be outside. I think it's outside of the pin. So the Bears will take it back.
We're all tied up again.
All.
Oh, I love this.
Bryn Reynes head back to serve. Another sophomore in a really tight serving place. She's had several of those out of bounds, and there's another one. So now it's going to be, again, game point Stanford. I see that jaw for Bryn Reynes. I see her walking off. You can just see coach doesn't need to say the words because she's already
doing a good pass here.
Yes. Taylor Bevan back to serve for Stanford. Can she put this game away? Harris will have this one up. Cole runs over, and Harris is into the block, and a big put away there.
Oh no, she's in the net. They just called her in the net.
called her in the net.
On the follow through.
So it's 28 all.
I think Coach Hambley is going to challenge that.
Okay, we're going to see a challenge then. Okay. So we're going to have a challenge now of whether or not Elia Rubin was in the net. I think it's perfectly fitting she's the one that puts that away for Stanford.
Maybe he's not going to challenge.
Oh, we're not going to have that challenge. Okay.
So
here comes Cece Hune back in up front. Placide, Harris, and Hune for the Bears. Michaela Boone back to serve. Will they push that line? Stanford's already kind of over there adjusting to it. Are they going to keep going
look for Vicini on the right side here.
Ogilvy with a good pass. And it's a big swing and the block for Placide. UNC has set point. 29-28 UNC. It's Michaela Boone, a fifth-year senior. Libero. And all-around leader of this team, and it's out!
No, it's it.
They called it in?
Yep.
Okay, they're going to call it in. So my ticker has to keep going here. It's 29 all. Sammy Francis is back in up front. The Bears are going to have to get it done with Sammy Francis up front. Stanford needs 2. The Bears need a side out and 1. Placide is, and this ball is live. This ball is live. Sammy Francis goes out of bounds. They're going to call no touch right now. It looks like now we're going to have a challenge on whether or not that was a touch at the net, and that makes sense. That's a smart call for Coach Hambley. I agree with that call. I mean, I don't know if I didn't see a touch, but I agree with making that call there.
Of course, and the heat of this excitement.
Oh, gosh.
And we're going extended points, and the place is rocking. You got to be able to just talk to your team just a little bit. And there was such an aggressive swing. That's what you want to do, regardless.
Oh yes, absolutely. Sammy Francis has to go with that. I agree. That's what I wanted to see. And that's what the whole crowd wants to see right now. Is that ball gets put away?
Right.
And she absolutely has the talent to do that in that.
Oh my goodness, right. And it gets that opportunity, and anything above her shoulder, she's got to be taking a big cut at. And so this, as you talked about, that these challenges turn into almost like mini timeouts, and the fact that coaches are talking to players, they're getting a chance to kind of settle their mind just a little bit, be able to just talk about some small adjustments, and even just taking the smallest adjustments, hand position, talking about different angles, talking about tracking hitters. Those little tiny reminders, checks you back in, and then you remember what the next job is.
I wonder if the game tomorrow against CSU and Stanford is going to be this much fun.
All the fun is happening here. I hate to tell you.
It's a whole weekend of fun, and then the UNC gets to play CSU on Tuesday,
Yes.
and then CU in the coming tournament.
Right.
So, there's going to be so much fun.
And then I also heard that Northern Colorado is debuting some new uniforms next week.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So
Very fun.
I did visit with that.
Hold on, Elvis is in the building.
Yes, Elvis did the national
We are at
anthem.
30-29 against Stanford.
Right.
We're getting new uniforms.
Yeah.
This is amazing. It's like my birthday early. I love it. So again with these challenges, right now the score will stay 30-29 until we have there has to be definitive evidence
Correct.
of a touch on
Correct.
that. So if they're able to find that definitive evidence of the touch, then it will be 30-29 with Stanford having
Right.
that.
Oh, and I
game point.
appreciate that the R2 is taking the time to really, out of respect of the game and these players, to know for sure whether there was a touch or not off of that. So, and I know it seems a little bit of a lull, but these girls are having the time of their life and being able to put on just a wonderful show for us, because this is just a fantastic environment. The place is rocking, and it looks like we're going to have a decision here soon.
Here she comes. And the point is going to stay UNC, so it's set point, Bears.
I like Lepore at the service line right here. I think her and Baker in the back row with Michaela Boone. It's a good defensive.
Oh, and that's going to be out. Out again. The whole crowd behind me. Didn't even make Stanford have to move for the ball. The crowd's just like, oh.
We're going to miss this close.
Come on, man. So again, 2 points are needed to win this. Lepore. Oh, she'll send.
Oh.
That's a pancake. That's a valid pancake, folks. Can she get reset for defense?
Oh, great on.
Excellent job by Lepore, but it's going to be out of bounds and a net violation. And so here we go. It's a match point again for Stanford. Kelly Labardi at the service line.
Got to start with a great pass right here. Northern Colorado's changing their serve receive.
Yep, they're going to go ahead and have
Lepore
hide in the back. That's okay. Baker. And they're not going to call a set interference. I kind of thought they might got that on there. And Lepore is able to hustle and get there on that. Harris will send it over. Francis to Minor. They're going to send it out with a big swing. And there it is. That's Stanford coming out on the court, taking that match. 30-32, Coach. Oh my goodness.
What an incredible. We not only a great match, but we got extra points and
so what a game. Well, thank you for joining me, Coach. We're going to cut to a quick break, and then I'm going to be back here with Coach Oates, and then we'll have a post-game show with her. So thank you so much from Coach Lori. We will be back in just a few on ESPN+. We are back here at Bank of Colorado Arena. Coach Oates, as you can see, is still out with their team. So Coach Lori and I are going to get a chance to take a look at some of these final stats here. The Bears with 13 service errors. Trying to get that ball just right on that back line on those aggressive serves.
Well, but you know what? They had some very big points at the service line as well when they had Zoe Gibbs come in and be able to put some pressure on. So it's about taking that risk, but I think overall Coach Oates is probably very happy with how her team competed. The second set faded a little bit, but other than that, they can say that they took Stanford and got them nervous.
All right, yeah, we're going to take a look at some of these highlights. I mean, that was an incredible match. Yes, did you want to come away with a set from them? Yes. But at the same time, those last 10 points that anyone had to get, incredible. Absolutely incredible play there. So we're going to go ahead and get some highlights right now. I'm getting joined now by Coach Oates. I know we would have all loved to have gotten that set, but those last 10 points, yes.
Yes. Exciting for the fans. Yeah, I'll give you a yes for that. But Yeah, what I just said to the team is I like how we got better throughout the match. I thought, 2 weeks of preseason, we couldn't have done what we got done in 2 hours today of improvement. So I really like that aspect of it. I think we showed some strengths that are really going to prove well for us throughout the next, 3.5, 4 months. There's also a couple weaknesses in there that are controllable that we got to fix in the next 24 hours as we face a similar opponent in Kentucky that's big and fast and physical, and it took us too long to catch up to that speed.
Yeah, the faster gameplay is pretty much, we talked about that in the game, where between teams 1 and 25 and 25 and 50, you're going to see that pace of the game is kind of where you're going to see that change. Bears definitely able to kind of pick it up there at the end. What was that strategy? It looked like a lot of those servers were going deep, or they're really just trying to work those back lines.
We were, and serving is going to be a strength for us, but it wasn't tonight. We had way too many errors to what we were able to accomplish with our serve. We just could not get them uncomfortable, and we got to get better at that. We panicked a little bit, I think, from the service line and didn't trust how good we can be back there.
So we had Isabel Bennett came in, Izzy hitting a 3 for 4, going 750 there in that third set. What difference is she able to make when she comes in her style of play?
Well, she's so fast. She is so fast off the floor and with her arm, and so it was a little bit different pace than what Maddie was bringing, and they were able to dig Maddie. And so sometimes Izzy will be a better matchup for us, and she was tonight. She also came up with a couple blocks late. And certainly Zoe at the service line is what made that turn in set 3. So that's a good run for us. We were looking for a serving sub and just a spark serving-wise, and Zoe gave us that at the end.
A lot of amazing play for players whose first time ever getting out on the court for NCAA matchup is against Stanford. We're going to see that from Lepore and from Placida today.
Yeah.
How amazing are these freshmen?
I know. I mean, we're starting 2 freshmen. They're sharing a spot, but essentially they're both in the starting lineup, and I thought they did a great job for their first match. I loved how aggressive Gabby was. She made some errors and we couldn't quite get her going early, but she doesn't lack aggressiveness, and that's what you need to do against the number 3 team in the country. And I thought Bella came up with some good plays and passed well, and those 2 are going to have a great career in a Bears jersey.
It's going to be great. I mean, I'm really excited to see them there because we have the 3 5-year seniors, and as they step out, there's already a lot of depth at outside that's going to be able to come in and do well. That depth at middle that the Bears are already showing. So this is a great matchup. Maybe not showing the W there and getting exactly what you wanted, but what a great chance to play against the number 3 team and see how quick that needs to be.
Yeah, and I can't say enough about the crowd. I mean, we were packed here tonight. We seat 3,000. We were real close to that number, and it was engaged, and
yes.
I mean, this volleyball community in Greeley came out, and so what an awesome home crowd that we need to come back tomorrow night.
Yes, come back for Kentucky. We will be joining you guys again tomorrow on ESPN Plus for UNC Bears taking on Kentucky. We'll see you then. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.